Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Think Big Studios podcast, where we kind of talk about marketing, business-related apps, information, and stuff to help you succeed. I'm Jason Orban, and this is Tyler. And we were talking this week. It's completely frozen outside. For the last 2 days, it's been minus 35, minus 50 with the wind chill.
With the wind chill, I heard that it was actually closer. We were closer to, was it Mars's temperature than like ever before? Like
than Toronto.
Toronto.
That's what it was. They're comparing our temperature with Mars and Toronto, and with the wind chill, we were minus 50, and Mars was minus 56, and Toronto was minus 8.
Minus 8? Oh,
minus 8.
Jesus. Yeah, but now it's supposed to be minus 8 or something like that on Monday, isn't it? So we're minus 3. We're going from minus 45 to, and like 4 days later, it's going to be minus 3.
Yeah, well, welcome to Regina.
Yeah, exactly.
It was awesome. When I was at the post office earlier today, I was picking up a package, and one of the mail carriers was there, and it's still like minus 25 outside today.
Yeah, exactly. And we were saying it's so much nicer today.
Yeah, she said, oh, it's a beautiful day. It's beautiful outside today. Well, it's only beautiful compared to the last 3 days where it's been minus 40 plus.
Yeah, you wake up the next day and you're like, please, minus 25.
I'm surprised my car starts because I never plug it in.
Even when it's minus 50 or minus 45 with the wind chill?
Yeah, I never plug it in ever. I have never plugged in any of my vehicles, and they always start.
Yeah, well, that's usually the case for me and my friend. I guess that was usually the case for him, and then he got a new car, and on 2 days ago, when it was minus 45, he phoned me at 8 at night, and he said, yeah, my car needs a boost. So I went out for about a half an hour, and we got to go and deal with that delight.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, well, we've been doing a lot of research kind of on marketing and business, and our goal for the podcast always really is to help our customers find people better ways of doing business, help them with their business, help them succeed. The better our clients and customers and you people watching the podcast do, the better everyone does. So what we really want to do is kind of talk about some new apps, some new interesting articles or some research that we've been working on, and then we want to talk about kind of like what's going on in our life, what we're reading, what's new and exciting, and then wrap it up with maybe some questions that you guys might have, and go from there, see what happens. So what were you looking at? What do you have for us this week?
Okay, well, I can start with it's kind of a cool little app I found. Well, I think it's like a pretty big app, but just in case people might not know about it, it's called Scanner Pro, and it's kind of a business app that's it's $6.99, and what you can do is you can, let's say,
like $6.
$6.99.
Okay.
And what you can do is you can, I don't know, have a Word doc or a document in front of you, or a whiteboard, let's say, right? And it'll auto focus and take a picture of the document, save it as a PDF onto your phone.
So you're using your phone to take a picture?
Yes, you're using your phone, or you could use an iPad, an iPad mini, and it takes a picture of it, and it saves it as a PDF into your phone. And you can also then, with this Scanner Pro, you can connect it to Dropbox, a Google Drive, or your Evernote account, so that way it can be shared across all of them, right? Or you can use it in email. It's just a really fast, easy way that you can take a picture and save it as a PDF document, and you can take multiple pictures and save them as one PDF document together.
So yeah, that's pretty awesome. So you have a meeting.
Yeah, exactly.
You have a meeting. You can record what was actually written down and then save it as a PDF and share with everyone.
Yeah, you always have sometimes those weekly Friday meetings or once a month meeting, right? And they're writing on the board all the time. Instead of you sitting there having to write down all the notes, you can just take a picture of it if you want.
So is it only for like iPad and iOS devices, or can you get it on Android too?
I didn't look into seeing Android. I know like Android's become this huge market now, and
right.
I thought that I should have looked into it more, I guess, into that. But what I found is just for the iOS device.
Okay.
But since it's so big and it's like, I'll look into it, and maybe next week I can talk to it and just kind of touch on it and say yes, it's also for the Android, because I'm sure it is.
Okay. And then another note, Evernote. If people don't know, it's a really cool kind of, it's another app, but it's also software. You can install it on all of your computers. You can install it on your laptop. You can install it on your tablets, your iPhone, your
browser.
And
it's free.
If you have Chrome, you can get an extension for it and just install it right in there.
Firefox, same thing.
Evernote is really cool because what that allows you to do is create notes for all your business ideas. You can have your own little online journal that you can only read, and then it allows you to share that across multiple devices, so that if you're on your phone, you have your list that you made, but then you also have that list on your tablet, on your laptop, on your home computer, on your office computer, and you're always connected with the same information.
But on that note too, then also you can, if you want, you can share a note with other people who have Evernote, and that way, let's say you have a project with somebody or a meeting or anything like that, right? Instead of everyone having to send a whole bunch of emails and do attachments, that kind of stuff, right? You can just include them into the same article, and you can add information to it. You can read information other people have added from it. It's just a quick, easy way.
I like that, but the only thing you have to have Pro to be able to, both of you to contribute to the same notepad, I think it was.
Oh.
So like, well, the way we have it set up right now is that we
can
just
read
share,
each other's.
Yeah, we can read each other's separate notes, but we can't contribute to each other's notes. And I think it's only $10 a month. I think it's $9.95 or something like that a month.
For the Pro version. But that's the main thing for the Pro version, I think, that you can pay for. So.
Something that I've been looking into a lot is Google Analytics.
Okay.
I've been doing a lot of research and really kind of following how our website goes, and a lot of our clients' websites, how many visitors they're getting, how much, what's their bounce rate, how many people are signing up, and how many people are new visitors, old visitors. That's really cool. We have that set up on all our customers' websites, and what I've started doing this week actually too is generating a report for each of our customers, so they can see and we can track and we can work with them to try and raise their search engine rankings and raise the amount of people that are going to their site through search engine optimization, and really kind of getting the word out for people's websites through their advertising. And you can see how well your website is performing like that, and that kind of leads us into a lot of the Google AdWords stuff.
Yeah.
That we've also been doing some research on. We've been doing this for a while now too, and right now actually we have a deal on that if you want to do some Google AdWords advertising, talk to us, and we have $100 certificates that we get through Google. As we said, we're part of a membership with Google called Google Engage for agencies, and what that means is we've gone through a bunch of training on Google AdWords, how to set up AdWords accounts for our customers, our clients, and we work with Google to set our clients up so that they can get the best performance out of Google AdWords that they can. So what we have right now is we have 20 promotional icons or certificates that we can use to help our customers start out with Google AdWords and really hit on some of those keywords where maybe their website isn't performing so well.
And the 20 you're talking about, is that if you have 20 certificates for $100 to give away?
Yeah, so we have $2,000 in certificates that we can give away to customers to set up, who want to set up their new AdWords account. So if they've never advertised with AdWords before, we can set that up and help them really grow.
And well, what is AdWords with Google? Then what does it include? What is it?
Google AdWords is the sponsorship links that we see on the top of the search pages. So if you do a search for hair salons in Regina, you'll see your regular ads, you'll see your map ads, and then you'll see yellow ads up at the top, and those are your Google AdWords. And the sponsored links are always placed up at the top, and then we also have sponsored links down the side of your search engine. Okay. But AdWords also goes into if you've ever been on a page where it says sponsored ads by Google, or say if you're on, for example, usedregina.com,
Yeah.
they have a bunch of sponsored ad banners, and I mean, the AdWords is so huge right now. You can do text ads, you can do video ads, you can do flash ads, you can do animated GIFs, you can do also just do static ads, and all that ties into directing people back to your website. But the nice thing about that too is you also get all the analytics, so you can see
true, right?
what people are doing and how it's going. We're at the Artful Dodger today. We're decided to do a little bit of difference and actually broadcast from the Artful Dodger, which is really just a block down from our studio.
Yeah, from our office.
We just thought it'd be a nice change, a nice environment to come shoot it. They have a great coffee shop here. It's a live venue, music, entertainment. There's a bar at night, and they have amazing lunches as well. So right now we're just kind of enjoying coffees and talking about our marketing.
Mm-hmm. But okay, wait, I heard you say that Google AdWords does video now, and that's what I've been searching. I mean, I've been searching more of the Google AdWords for video. And what that means is they're attached to YouTube now, right?
Right.
Because I think that they have
Did Google buy YouTube?
Sorry?
Did Google buy YouTube?
I don't know if they bought YouTube or if they're partnered with YouTube right now. But I do know there's more information about it, right? I know that with like in AdWords for search engine results, you can do so many different options for Google video search results, right?
Okay.
Because right now there's about, I think I did some searching on like how many users and how many people even use YouTube, right? I mean, right now I found that there's about 8 million unique visitors that come to YouTube, and there's 4 billion hours of video on YouTube. So imagine like how many videos, which is how many advertising you can do on there.
I read an article the other day that said there is 8 years worth of video uploaded to YouTube every day.
Yeah, well, I believe it. Like.
So yeah, to watch all the video that's been uploaded to YouTube in one day would take you 8 years.
And then by the time you got to that point, it'd just be that much more, right? You can never get to the end. That's the thing, right?
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to. So what's interesting, what you're talking about though, is being able to use your Google AdWords to advertise on YouTube.
Yeah, exactly. And what that is also, as in Google AdWords and using Google Analytics, you can do the same thing with the video, right? You can do. You can see how many users you're getting, that kind of stuff, right? But the biggest thing is you can see how long a user is looking at your ad for. Did they skip it after 5 seconds? Did they watch the whole ad? Did they watch 45 seconds of it? Where in the point of the video are they watching to, right? So I think that's a really big part. But in Google Video, you have different options of how to display your ad, right? And I think that's the key thing that people might not understand or understand what the words mean, right? Because right now there is about, I think five main ones. There's in video, right? And that's just basically your Google AdWords, but it'll pop up in the video just as a static banner ad.
That's like that little, just like that text
as you're watching your video, and a little box or a little ad will pop up from the bottom, right? You can click X if you want to, or you can look at it, right?
Okay.
But you're forced to look at it, right? Because all these video things is you're forced to look at them, right? Because they're popped up inside your video that you're trying to watch. So obviously you're trying to watch it. But I think the main one people will probably be interested in is in-stream, right? And that means it plays the ad before or during another video, right? And
are those the video ads that are those are the videos?
Yeah, they're all, like, let's say I go to, I don't know, I want to watch, I don't know, I just want to watch the hockey game, right? Or highlights of a hockey game. And before you can watch that, it'll play a 5-second or a 15-second, 30-second ad before that video will start. Right? Okay. And but the good thing about that one too is you're forced to look at it. You're forced to engage with it, right? Because it pops up before the video that you want to watch.
Right.
And then after if it's a 30-second ad, after 5 seconds, it can be skipped if you want to. But the thing is
I think the key to that though is really creating an ad that grabs someone's attention right off the.
Well, exactly. Right at the beginning. Catch their attention within that first 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Right. Because right now there's what 60% of in-stream videos are unskippable.
Right. Okay.
Until that, but the thing is, you have to engage them in that first 5 seconds because that skip button can appear.
So does that skip button that skip button gives them generally 5 to 10 seconds to skip a video. Like they have to watch that much of a video.
Yeah, exactly. They can't do anything. They have to watch it, right? But the thing is with
and
that,
you said there are 60% that are unskippable.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but the thing is if you have, let's say, a 30-second ad and they watch 5 seconds and they skip it, you don't have to pay for that view, right? You don't have to pay for them viewing that, right? Just like Google AdWords, where you pay per click, basically, right?
Right.
And this one is they can watch that first 5 seconds, skip it, and you don't have to pay for it. So it's like free advertising, right? If they do that, which, but the thing is you want to get them to engage and watch the whole thing, right? And you can tell if they're watching the whole thing with the YouTube analytics, right?
Yeah, I've been reading like a book. One of the latest books I've been reading it's called the Adweek's Copywriting Handbook, and what they talk about really there is creating a headline, creating a sub-headline, and to get people to continue reading, right?
Yeah.
But it's kind of like the same with the YouTube video. So you want to create a powerful first, a very interesting start to your video in order to capture their attention so they continue watching, right?
Okay, but to expand upon that, like when I was watching YouTube the other day, and all of a sudden, the in-stream video thing came up, and it was just like a classic car commercial, right? It shows a car, and it's going like the side, and there shows the car, and I was just getting bored within the first 2 seconds, and it's like, oh crap, another car commercial. But then after 4 seconds, all of a sudden, he's in like a desert driving, and all of a sudden it's like Mad Max style, like these like Mad Max vehicles jump out of the dunes and start like chasing him and stuff like that, right? And you're like, oh, and it's kind of like, oh cool, it's kind of interesting, right? And then the whole thing is, Warrior and the Weekend sort of thing, right? But it engaged me after 5 seconds. I didn't press the skip button. I watched the whole 30-second ad just because it was interesting.
It's what I find interesting is really what videos we watch when those things come up, or which ones we skip.
Yeah.
Because sometimes there's just a little thing at the beginning, and maybe it's an icon or a logo or something that just
engages you.
Maybe I'll continue watching this.
Yeah.
It's a lot like Joe Sugarman said in that book that I'm reading. He said the whole point of your headline and everything is, and your sub-headline the first is to get people to read the first sentence of your paragraph, and you want people to read the first sentence, and that first sentence gets people to watch read the second sentence, and third sentence, fourth sentence, right?
Yeah.
And each sentence is he calls it a slippery slope. It gets people starting to watch or read, like the same with the video. You want your video to build and create interest so that as they're watching, they're on the slippery slope to the end of the commercial, right? Mm-hmm. And at the end of the commercial, you hit them with your logo and your selling proposition and everything like that. So it's and hopefully they buy something or click on your website or anything like that. So what are the there's a couple other ones you were talking about too, right?
Yeah, like I just wanted to really get into the in-stream one because I think that's probably the most important one for YouTube.
I think that's one of the most interesting ones.
Well, maybe not the most important, but most interesting, kind of. Okay, but then the other one is in Slate. It's called. It displays. Let's say there's a 10-minute plus video, right, that you're trying to click on to watch. It's like a little display black box that'll pop up in front of the video before it'll start, and it'll say, basically, since this video is 10 minutes, you can either watch this commercial. This commercial will give you 2 commercial options, or you can click on this other box that does 2 smaller commercials during the video that's playing. So it'll stop, every 3 minutes, let's say. I don't know how long it is, and then it'll force you to watch a commercial, right?
Right.
So that's called in Slate, right? So, but it only displays on longer videos, right? And then there's the other one is in search. It appears above or to the right of a regular YouTube search. So if you search, basketball, and you're trying to do, three-pointer tips, how to be good three-pointer person. Is
that the one with the graphics still, too? I want to look right now and see if we do,
it'll show it.
Or something like that. I want to see what comes up like. What's that going to show? Is it just text again, or is it going to be?
If you're doing a video, then it'll show a thumbnail in the text beside it.
Okay.
Right.
And then which ones are sponsored? Okay, so I'm seeing stuff here like Inside Ripped Abs workout.
Yeah, so that would be the ones that you're searching right now is the last one. They're called in display basically. It appears alongside other video searches, right? So if you search like you searched.
I just looked at basketball tips because you said
and
basketball.
To the right, it shows basically, hey, saying since you search this, you're gonna like these videos,
Right.
And they're like since they're associated with basketball, right? Because with each video that you put up, and you can specify keywords just like you would a Google ad. But the thing is since there's so many more videos and so much less people doing like these ads so far
Right.
for YouTube, it's way less saturated, right? So you can have way higher, a better chance of having a video.
Way less saturated than like Google AdWords.
Google AdWords,
instead,
yeah, so
like
that's what I mean.
through
sorry.
search, yeah.
Yeah, so like I mean, with Google AdWords, if you're gonna do just a standard ad on Google, I mean, it's so saturated that for basketball, imagine trying to be on the first results.
It depends on which topic you're under, right?
But I'm just saying,
the
like,
more you spend, the higher you go.
Yeah, exactly.
On Google AdWords, but
so yeah, but that's just the in-display one. So yeah.
okay. Flash crashed.
So kind of, I guess, in a nutshell, though, I'm just trying to say like that's YouTube ads, and those are like the 5 main options, I guess.
Kind of the idea behind YouTube ads.
Yeah.
Like I mean, there's
Just
billions of people who
and there's gonna be a lot more information too that about this kind of stuff. But I wanted to just kind of
What's
clarify
nice
and kind
though
of
is
help.
we can set this all up through your AdWords account.
Yeah.
And then use Google Analytics and AdWords Analytics to track who's clicking, what they're watching,
Exactly.
how much time they spend on it, and that's like extremely valuable information to see how well
Your ads are doing.
your ads are doing. And
I think that's the
I mean,
most,
it's
like,
always
important.
really important to test, to be testing how your ads are doing, what ads work and what ads don't work. A lot of people just take their advertising and then they'll just make a poster, put one ad out, right?
Yeah.
You put one ad out and then it works or it doesn't work.
Oh,
But a lot of
sometimes they don't even know.
the time they don't even track it.
They have no
right?
idea. They just
So-
put it up there and they said, "Well, it didn't work." But they didn't.
Right.
They didn't check into it at all. They just assumed, "Hey, since I didn't get, 1,000 new customers, it didn't work."
Right.
Right.
And sometimes it's hard to track, but what they do a lot of, what a good thing to do is on the internet it's easier to track who's clicking and what they're clicking on and where they're going and whether your advertising is working. When you're doing print ads and stuff like that, then you want to do a thing called keying where you can put like a proposition or a cell in there or something specific to that ad so that you know if people are coming in with that ad or they're looking for that deal, then your advertising is working, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's when you can do split testing as well, where you're doing one type of advertising and then you're tracking the analytics from that, and then you have your second ad, which is a little different from your first ad, but then you're tracking how well which one does, right? And that's kind of how you build up your ads and get better advertising, because you can take what works and then build upon it.
Yeah, exactly.
And keep going with that. There was a great quote that I read the other day. It was in a video series I was watching, and it was all talking about if you're a business owner, you are a marketer, right? So now someone comes up, they start their own business. What most people don't realize is after you start your own business, you are now in marketing, right? Your job for your business is to market your business. You have to get new customers. You have to keep customers. You have to. You want to make those customers happy.
Yeah.
You want to offer services. Customer marketing applies to your design of your building, your shop, your store, whatever. It applies to your customer service, what your
experiences they have,
what your employees are wearing, their experience while they're there, how you help them in the end, all that kind of stuff, right? And then it also applies to advertising, sales, and follow-up marketing too. So advertising to customers that you already have. So a great thing that I saw was it's 5 times less expensive to advertise to current customers than it is to try and attract new customers. You'll spend 5 times more money and energy and time on new customers than you will
attracting new business.
than working with customers that you already have. So offering them new products and new services rather than always looking for a new customer.
Yeah, it's kind of like, I guess to dumb it down a little bit, just is like those, like since we're, in our Lodge and we're having coffees, like coffee cards, right? You have coffee cards for your current customers to say, hey, keep coming here and have coffee,
right.
So we'll punch your coffee card so that you get a free coffee.
It also means too, like handouts and flyers and email marketing. So you have a list of customers, you get their email, you follow up with them, and you send them more emails about promotions and services that you have that they would be interested in, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Instead of spending a ton of, and email marketing is like extremely inexpensive. So instead of spending like a ton of money on, say for instance, Google AdWords and YouTube videos and everything, always trying to attract new customers, simply putting together an email marketing campaign for the customers that you already have and then reselling to them. For example, we work with a hot tub company here in town, Halcyon Spas, and taking their information that they have and then remarketing their sales and their service and other products that they might have that hot tub owners and spa owners might be interested in, right?
Yeah.
That's just an example to start off, but kind of forget what I was saying here. But okay, number 6. The point that was number 6 that I saw in this thing was always be testing, and that was the number 6. That was the number 6 point in a marketer's mindset, an entrepreneur's mindset. So you want to get into the mindset of a marketer as you own your business.
Like testing isn't testing ideas.
Yeah, it was kind of testing ideas. So you always want to be testing ads against yourself. You want to be tracking analytics. You want to put an ad out, see how well it does. Yeah. See what comes back, and then be able to apply that to another ad, right?
Yeah.
So you always want to test.
So if you have an ad or anything like that, just like write something down of how well it did, or have you attracted new customers? Did it work?
Don't assume that every ad is going to be the end all and be all, the greatest ad that's going to come out because you created it. But assume that we have to test, right?
Yeah.
And I really took that idea and just kind of thought about it for a little while and thought, okay, so everything is a test. And I think if you think of that in that perspective in business, it can really help you to not get as discouraged about stuff, because I know a lot of business owners who really get down and really get discouraged because something didn't go their way, right? Something didn't work the way that they thought it was going to work.
Yeah.
So they do something, it didn't work, they get depressed about it.
Yeah, they think,
right?
well, how come this failed? And it should have done awesome because I did this ad. Why didn't it do awesome?
Exactly. So
or anything.
Really, I think it's important. I just kind of adopted this, and I thought it was great. If you just take the approach that everything's a test, so everything you do in business is a test, and you want to see how well it's going to do, right? So you think it could do well or it could fail, but really understand that from the get-go, and not, as I say, put all your eggs in one basket and be really depressed and sad about when it doesn't work, right?
Exactly. Just get ready if it doesn't work, then say, okay, that didn't work, let's change it and let's try something else. Let's test something else, right? Yeah,
let's test it again, right? It's not, and then, I mean, you can get away from the whole concept of being a failure, of failing. I didn't fail, it just, that test, this is what came back from that test. We tested it, and these were the results, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So then it's not a failure, it's just a test. Everything is a test, right? So our marketing podcast that we're doing right now, whether it does well or not, it's a test, right?
Yeah.
So it may or may not, and we don't know until we put it out there and test it and see what happens.
Yeah, then you can search the results back and just, we'll see.
I posted a thing on our Facebook this morning. It was a great article that I found. Our Facebook page is facebook.com/thinkbigstudios, but it was from the lady who invented Spanx. If you don't know what Spanx are?
I think so. It's like, let's say you're a little overweight, right?
Yeah.
And you want to wear tight pants for women. You pull it up and it kind of hides the upper
belly.
It's
kind of like a, I don't know, it's not a garter, but something like that. I don't know. I know I've heard Shondell and the girls talking about Spanx before, but so that's the only reason I know what they are.
Yeah.
But the lady who invented Spanx, she was actually on. Remember, there's a show called, it was like The Next Billionaire or something. It was with Richard Branson, who owns Virgin Mobile in London. It was it was called The Next Billionaire or something.
Was it a TV show?
Yeah, it was a TV show. It was like a
seen
reality TV show, and the contestants all worked with Richard Branson to. It was a lot along the lines of that one with. Oh, I forget the guy in the States there. You're fired.
Oh yeah. The Apprentice.
Yeah, The Apprentice. So it was along a lot along the same lines of The Apprentice, right? It was all business. It was that kind of stuff. So, anyway, she was on there, but she didn't win. She was like a runner up, or she got kicked off the show or something like that. Anyways.
Yeah.
But in the article that she wrote, she invented Spanx. She has turned that into for years. Everyone told her Spanx were a dumb idea. She used to be a salesperson for a company, and she used to go around. And then one day, I think she cut the feed off her pantyhose, and then said, "This is a brilliant idea."
Just pulled them up higher.
Yeah. So then she started selling those and everything like that. And then what I found was super interesting, which I thought was like really, really awesome too, along the lines of always be testing. I would put up there is it's her dad. As they were growing up, her dad would ask them, "How did you fail this week?" So he'd ask them, "What did you do that failed?" So and
failed in like, did you bad or
no? What did you? So I mean, in business and marketing and everything like that, we always fail, right? Like there's a test and there's a failure.
Yeah.
There's or whichever, right? There's a huge saying always goes along. I mean, you're gonna fail no matter what, so fail soon. The sooner you fail, the sooner you can kind of move on and find what works, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So her dad, growing up, kind of gave him this mindset that failure isn't a bad thing. Failure means you're trying and you're growing from it, right?
Okay.
So every time you fail in business or in marketing or in life, you learn something from that.
Yeah.
Right? So it's better to fail and learn and move on, but not take the approach of failure is a horrible thing and then get depressed and sad every time you fail, right?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I just thought that was a very motivational and interesting.
And you can apply it in so many ways, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Just like always be testing, and I mean, don't be afraid to fail, but then ask yourself a question this week. She said like her dad would ask, "How did you fail this week?" And if they didn't have something that they failed at, he'd be disappointed because it means they weren't trying new things.
They weren't trying something, exactly.
You know, so you want to be trying new things and getting out of the box kind of thing, doing something that scares you, doing something that's out of your comfort zone, and you may succeed and you may fail, but failure is a good thing, so embrace it.
Yeah, you grow from it, I guess, right?
Yeah. Every time you fail, you grow. And I just thought that was awesome too.
Yeah, that's a really good point and a really good view on it, I guess.
One thing I've always found too is people are always scared to do something because they're scared of failing, right? A lot of people are scared to start something because they're scared of failing.
Yeah, out of their comfort.
If you change your mindset on failure, that failure isn't a bad thing, that failure helps us grow, then it's not so bad to start a new thing. You start something new and
it's almost exciting
and you fail. Yeah. Let's see what I failed at this week.
Yeah.
You know, for example, like we failed this month. We did all our boudoir ads and we put all that stuff up, and we were really hoping to through the salon shoot a lot of photography for Valentine's.
Exactly. Yeah.
And we put a lot of stuff more than we've done any other year, and we had no one sign up for our weekend.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean that's a failure, but what do we learned stuff from that? We learned that maybe our price was too high, maybe
we didn't get our marketing to the right businesses at the right time.
Right. So
right.
I think maybe next year we need to start even earlier.
Exactly.
At advertising. So I mean, it's disappointing that didn't happen.
Yeah.
But I mean, now we'll have to just figure out a different way to advertise it and see what happens.
Yeah.
So just test it and keep going.
So
Yeah, that's really kind of what I had this week. I have a whole thing on content and copywriting, but we kind of touched on that earlier with the Joe Sugarman kind of stuff and getting to the next point and stuff like that. But I mean, we can always, we have a couple blogs up, blog posts up about copywriting and creating emotional impact and connection with your customers and
the blog like you can read that at thinkbigstudios.ca.
I think it's /blog.
Yeah.
And if you just go to thinkbigstudios.ca, it's up on there on the front page anyways.
Exactly. So it's easy to find if you want to take a look at that. Probably help out as well.
We don't have any questions this week. I really didn't even think of any questions, but we want to answer questions. So if anyone watching this, you have any questions that you'd like to ask Tyler and I that we can do research on, or we can find out for you and help you in your business, send them to we'll go ask us at thinkbigstudios.ca, and we'll see you guys next week, I guess.
Yeah. Thank you very much for watching and listening.
So this week from the Artful Dodger in Regina, Saskatchewan.
From Jason and Tyler.
Yeah.
Which will be every week now.
Think Big Studios. Thank you for watching.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, bye.